All right, guys, simple video today. Myself, Pistol Pete, with the #1 trader in the world. So, #1 streamer in the world, #1 trader in the world, iGOLDENBEAR, coming on the YouTube channel with me, all right? Making a video about Black Friday. We're going to teach you guys how to make coins. We're going to teach you our strategies, what we do, how we do it, why we do it. We're going to cover last year's Black Friday promotions and the possible upcoming promotions for this year's Black Friday. And then, of course, how you're going to profit off of it, how you're going to make coins, right? So, your boy Pistol Pete, iGOLDENBEAR, the #1 trader in the world. I hope you guys enjoy. Pistols out! So, with that said, guys, now that you know who we're talking to, GOLDENBEAR, I guess there's nothing else to do than let the man speak. GOLDENBEAR, how you doing, buddy? Welcome.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me again.
First thing we can start off with is, when is Black Friday?
So Black Friday is actually going to be next week. It lands on a Friday, November 24th.
So Black Friday this year will be November the 24th. That'll be obviously the day after Thanksgiving. So for those of you that don't know what Black Friday is, basically in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving, which is always the third Thursday in November. And then, of course, leading into that night, so midnight rolling from Thursday into Friday, that becomes Black Friday. And then you usually get really, really good deals, you know, in stores, in person. We will celebrate, obviously, EA celebrates Black Friday immediately online, and then they also celebrate Cyber Monday. So it's kind of like a whole weekend thing. You get like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way through Monday. And if you remember correctly, last year on Cyber Monday was actually the first time that we ever saw some. It was like the premiere of some SBCs, like the first time you ever saw those SBCs where they went league specific. Remember, I think it was 2 or 3 players you could pack for like Calcio A, La Liga, the top 5 leagues. So we saw some pretty cool things, and it was funny because I remember specifically being online. I believe it was like 2 or 3 in the morning my time. So I'm East Coast, guys. I live in Miami, the East Coast part of the United States. And Cyber Monday was just finishing up, and everybody thought that all the promotions were over, and that was basically it. Like the whole promotion had ended. And that's when EA decided to drop all those SBCs, which was very peculiar because it's one of the only times that I can think of in last year's FIFA 17, where they actually just started dropping SBCs and promotions like in the middle of the night or in the early mornings if you were here on the East Coast like I was. So that is Black Friday, guys. Now that we all know what it is and when it is, let's talk about what we could expect from Black Friday. Let's look back into last year and see what promotions EA had in store for us. So the very, very first thing that happened last year was we had 45K Prime Gold Players packs, guys. And that was a global limit of 25,000. And, of course, you had an hour to open those, which, by the way, not the smartest people in the world, but people are going to smash through those packs. Those things went out of, like, in maybe 7 to 10 minutes, if memory serves me correct. And then heading on into the next hour, which would be 3 p.m. UK time, we got the 55K packs. GOLDENBEAR, what do you remember about that day?
I remember, so everybody anticipated, like, 100K packs because it's the first time that we see some of these bigger packs. I mean, I think this year so far we've gotten, if I'm not mistaken, we've gotten all the way up to 35K packs. We haven't seen anything bigger. So this year for FIFA, for Black Friday, this is where you actually get 50K packs. You get 100K packs. It's the first time you get to see them in FIFA 18. So EA usually make the team of the week like really, really big for this week, and hopefully they do the same thing leading into next week. Everybody anticipated the bigger packs. I remember that the first lightning round it actually sold out, and then after that they did introduce the 55K pack, but there was a limit, so there was no time limit on that. And then that's when they hit us with the 50K packs, and that's when people got involved and people started opening packs at that time.
They got involved.
They did get involved, yes, for the 4 p.m. UK time pack opening.
Do you know what I'm looking at? 8 p.m. UK time, right? So we got there at 8 p.m. UK on Black Friday, which would have been the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would have been the 8th promotional pack that we saw, which was a global limit of 100,000, and that was the 125K packs, and that only lasted for an hour. Interestingly enough, the next promotion, okay, which was at 9 p.m., so the very next hour, we got another round of 125K packs, but it was only limit 2. So basically what that was, it wasn't really a lightning round. It was basically you had the option of opening 2 that hour.
So it's not guaranteed lightning rounds every hour. It's either lightning rounds or special promo packs is what it is. But they'll always have one or the other. And I think, to be honest with you, I think they're going to follow a very similar pattern.
Something similar, right?
They've been doing something similar for like the last few years. If they're going to announce something, obviously they're going to do it for like early next week. So either Monday Monday or Tuesday they're going to start hyping up the Black Friday promotion.
So when EA drops that tweet, the tweet that basically announces Black Friday and the promotions that are coming up, that kind of sets the market off a little bit, doesn't it?
It definitely catches it off balance a little bit. And if there's ever time for certain players, for example, like the higher rated players, but you definitely want to have those guys by then, because that causes somewhat of a little panic for people who aren't really on the market that much, people that aren't really trading as much. There's going to be a small window, and that's the thing about trading and stuff like that. You always have to look for those windows. If you miss one, which we have missed for some of the gold cards and icons, there's always going to be another window, and you just have to be able to time that right and kind of like, you know, make a plan of when you think it's going to be. There is a possibility that it's going to happen. It could happen on Monday if they really release that video and a lot of people start selling your cards. Who knows? You know, it's just a matter of being in the market, being on the market, or being on the console at the time that this happens.
Correct. So Monday, when we say Monday, we mean Monday, November the 20th. Guys, can you believe we are literally less than 7 days away from Black Friday? It seems like just yesterday, I could literally remember where I was and what I was doing when Black Friday started last year for the FIFA 17 promotions. It was crazy. I mean, I remember waking up, it was about 9 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. I was already on Twitch. I was watching Castro live stream because I know that man is going to blow through packs like there's no tomorrow. And is there anything, in your opinion, Golden Bear, is there anything more interesting or more fun or more fascinating to watch than somebody just going crazy on packs? I just don't know what it is about that, but I could just watch that for the rest of my life.
There's nothing better than to see somebody light money on fire and provide the best pack opening like experience possible.
It's the best.
That man puts a hell of a show for pack opening.
Oh, it's the best.
Just put that out there.
So guys, wrapping up what we saw last year. What we saw last year was some hours you saw lightning rounds, and then other hours you would see not necessarily a lightning round, but you'd see a limit on your account of how many packs you could open. So for instance, at 8 p.m. UK time, you'd see a 125k pack, and then that was 100,000 of those global limit, and that lasted for an hour, but really it probably lasted for maybe 10 minutes or less. I mean, that's what everybody was waiting for. And then at 9 p.m. you saw in your account you had a limit of opening 2 125k packs. So no lightning rounds the following hour, but you did have the option of opening 2 packs, which I'm pretty sure almost everybody did, if they still had money at that point in the day. Also, this part I do remember correctly. It was every 1.5 hours you would see a flash SBC. Golden Bear, do you remember how long it was that you had to do those SBCs? Was it 30 minutes, or would they give you an hour to do those things?
No, they would give you an hour. I was actually expecting some of those flash SBCs to be, and hopefully they implement something like that, but like a limited quantity of SBCs. So, you know, let's just say that they gave out like, I don't know, like 100. Let's just say 100,000 of them or something like that.
Like a lightning round. Like you had to be one of the first people to submit the SBC?
Right, exactly.
Oh, how cool would that be?
Like a 50K pack. That'd be great. And I wish they would do something like that. And I honestly thought that's what it was gonna be like. Or you had like, let's just say you had like 5 minutes to complete an SBC or something like that. But these flash SBCs that they did, they were every like every like 1.5 hours or so or something like that. I don't know. I just hope that they did something different.
Imagine this, taking your idea, Golden Bear, and then expanding on it. Imagine a Flash SBC that was basically tiered, right? So like, let's say there was only 100,000 SBCs that could be submitted for that Flash SBC. But the quicker you submitted it, the better the pack could be. So if you could like solve the SBC and submit it within 5 minutes, you'd get a 100K pack. And then if it took you 15 minutes, you'd get a 50K pack. And then obviously, you know, just tiered off. Like the longer it took you to do the SBC, the worse the reward would be. How cool would that be, man? That would be amazing.
That would be really good, actually.
All right, so heading forward, looking into FIFA 18, guys. FIFA 18 Black Friday. And we already touched upon this, but I think what we're going to be seeing is a lot of what we saw last year. I think when I speak about time frames. So I think you'll be seeing stuff, you know, every hour on the hour. You might be seeing some flash SBCs every hour and a half or 45 minutes. You know, maybe they change it up a little bit in terms of time frame. But I don't think you're going to see too many things that are going to be different from last year's. I think you're just going to be seeing different things in terms of what they're going to be putting into those time slots. Would you agree, Golden Bear? Is there anything that you have seen or that you think is going to be on the horizon?
You know what they can do this year that would be very innovative, and it would be super helpful because I mean right now we have prime icons going on throughout the year. It looks like they're releasing three every month. Is what it looks like. And one thing that I thought that maybe they can keep some of the things similar to what it was last year, right? But you've seen in the past that they've released increased packs, so like increased chances of you pulling like informs, for example, for
Yep.
Team of the Week 10. I think they did that last year, if I'm not mistaken. But how about like increased chances of pulling like an icon? It's just an idea, and I don't know. Again, I don't know if they're gonna go with that. But it would be a phenomenal idea, especially since they're being used so much right now for those prime SBCs.
So then, guys, things that we could be seeing that EA kind of owes us in a sense. They don't owe us anything, but you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, things that we saw last year that we haven't seen this year yet, that we could be seeing this Black Friday, is going to be the Team of the Week SBC, so the guaranteed Inform SBC, which is, of course, there's the one where you can get the Inform for the current Team of the Week, and then there's the one where you can actually hold those packs, which is awesome. The Team of the Week SBC, where you hold the packs and you can open them up whenever you want to, and then of course you have a chance of packing the current Team of the Week's player. The other thing that we haven't seen yet is the 82 plus guaranteed packs. We just saw the 81 plus guaranteed packs, but we haven't seen the 82 plus guaranteed packs. And then we could be seeing going forward, obviously some icon stuff. So whether it be a like a double chance icon pack that we haven't seen that, or there could be even a pack which they've done in Madden. EA has done this in Madden, where you get a guaranteed legend. I don't know how likely we are to see that, if at all, maybe this early in the game, but that's an option as well. It's something that could be out there with EA. So finally, one of the things I want to touch upon in terms of like strategy heading forward into this year's Black Friday, FIFA 18 Black Friday, is the strategy that I personally would use looking at opening packs. So I'm probably going to drop a little bit of money, not much, but if I do, this is how I'm going to attack it. You don't know what EA has in store for us this year in terms of packs. Like we just said, we could maybe be seeing some packs that are like double chance at hitting an icon pack or something like that. You never know what tricks EA has up their sleeve. We saw last year as a pattern that EA repeated the same lightning rounds, not necessarily by hour, but what I'm trying to say is if you saw 100K packs and at some point you saw 125K packs, you saw those again in the upcoming hours and in the upcoming days. So just because you missed it the first go around didn't mean that you never had a chance at hitting those packs again in a lightning round. So I would say my strategy moving forward this year in FIFA 18 will be, I'm going to give EA probably a 12 to 18 hour cycle. I don't think you have to wait an entire 24 hours, but I'm going to give them at least 12 hours to 18 hours and let them run through all of their promotions. And they're going to have to, they'll be forced in a sense to show their hand, because as you head into Saturday, it's like Black Friday's almost over. They're not going to wait till Saturday to drop the best stuff. Obviously, they want the hype around Black Friday. So I'm going to kind of, in a sense, call EA's bluff, and I'm going to make them show me their hand. And then once I know that what they have in store for us, then I'll pick and choose my spots of where I'm going to spend my money. Because, guys, at the end of the day, this is money. It's cash. And you go ahead and spend it however you want to. If you want to go out there and blow your money the first go around, the first chance that you can, that's fine. But I want to be strategic and get the most out of my money as I can. So I'm going to let EA do their thing. I'm going to sit back, watch what happens with the market, watch what unfolds with their promotions, and then I'll strike when I feel like the time is right. So that's what I'm going to do with money, with straight up cash, and that's me opening up packs with FIFA points. Now, for somebody that's not going to open up packs this year and just plans on maybe hanging back, doing some investing, and seeing what the market has in store for them, Golden Bear has a great strategy for that. So, Golden Bear, how are you going to attack the market as a person that is not going to open up any packs?
So I actually don't plan to open up any packs this Black Friday. So what I'm planning to do is just once the first like 100K pack lightning round comes in, I'm not gonna do a whole lot of like flipping or anything or sniping for the lower pack lightning rounds like the 45Ks. I mean, I'm gonna be checking out the market for sure, but where it really comes down to is the 100K pack. That's the one that everybody's putting all their, if they have money to spend, they're putting it towards the 100K pack. So as someone who's in the market, and you're basically trying to go during these 100K packs, 100K lightning rounds, and 125K lightning rounds, and you're gonna want to snipe some of the lower tier guys like that you see predominantly in the weekend league, guys like Bakayoko, guys like Martial. Guys like Kyle Walker. I can't think of a few other guys.
You know what I'll do, guys, as Golden Bear rattles these names off, I'm going to give you guys an example of exactly what it is that you want to do. So as you're looking into players that you want to invest in, it's going to be those really, really popular players for a weekend league that people are always using. And then, of course, players that are rare in the sense that they were packed like in Team of the Week 1, 2, and 3, right around that area. So what I'm going to do is show you really quickly Footbin. I'm going to pull it up. You just go right over here to squads, and then you click all Team of the Week. It'll take you right down here. Once again, everything you guys are going to see is on the Xbox because that's the console that I play on. You guys can change it over to the PlayStation right up here on the top right-hand corner. But I do play on the Xbox because my parents raised me right. So here's Team of the Week 3, as you guys can see as I scroll down. Here's Ones to Watch, which we're just going to skip over for now. Team of the Week 2 and Team of the Week 1. So for the sake of just picking a random Team of the Week, but it's, of course, in the top 3 Team of the Weeks, I'll just go to Team of the Week 2. So we'll just pull it up really quick, and I'll show you guys some of the more highlighted or bigger players in that Team of the Week. You have yourself your 94 rated Messi, your 86 rated Morata. You have your Aubameyang over here, Pjanic, David Silva. You have Azpilicueta as well. So you're going to check him out. So what I'll do, just as an example, is I'll show you guys using the strategy that GoldenBear gave us, which is looking into, popular players for the weekend league, and then of course players that are from, Team of the Week 1, 2, and 3. Maybe some players from Team of the Week 4, but really I think the safest is Team of the Week 1, 2, and 3. Would you agree with that, GoldenBear?
Oh yeah, the older the better for sure. If you look at Team of the Week run 1 right now,
the day that
Team of the Week. Yeah, the day that Team of the Week 1 came out, that was on September 20th. The game wasn't even out yet. Keep that in mind. The game was not out yet. I believe we were on the early access stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then on the 29th, that's when the full game released, which is when they released the Once to Watch. And a lot of people that had not gotten the game early saved. Basically, if they were going to spend money, they saved it for Once to Watch. So a lot of people blew it at the beginning on Team of the Week 1. Or they waited until Once to Watch. So that's why that Team of the Week 2, that's the one that was out leading into Once to Watch. So when people started opening packs on that Friday when the Once to Watch players came out, then you basically just had that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you had a few days of it. So that's why Team of the Week 1 and 2 are some of the better ones to trade with. And that, again, you mentioned it. The only reason is because they're so rare. Some of the players, some of the lower rated players did get submitted for SBCs, but realistically, people just didn't have that much coins at the time. And less people were opening packs compared to how many people are opening packs right now. There was no rewards for Team of the Week 1 and 2. There was no weekend league rewards. There was really no squad battle reward yet, I believe. So that's why some of those are rare. So like right now, there's a lot more being opened, basically. Is all it is.
Looking at Team of the Week 1 on Footbin, and then guys, I'll head over to the console really quick and show you what I would do with this information, because we're giving you the whys and the hows, and then of course we're going to show you what it is that myself and GoldenBear do, obviously. But looking at Team of the Week 1, a couple of these cards stand up, like they jump right off the page to me. You're looking at Aguero, right? So that's a popular card right there. He's at 1 million coins flat, right around there as right now as we speak. There's a Dybala right there, 89 rated. There's a Mertens, right? So a very popular card. He did get another inform, but still that 87 is very popular. People still use it. And then another card that I see there that jumps off the page at me immediately is the Valencia card. So right back Valencia at 380k as we look at it right now at this very moment in time, and 500k on PS4. As I scroll down, like I said, nothing crazy here. But Kambu does jump out at me a little bit there at 100k. And that's about it for Team of the Week 1. But with that knowledge, so what we'll do is we'll head on over to the console really quickly, and I'll show you guys what I do. All right, guys, so over here on the console, I've opened it up now. I'm under Concept Squads, and this is what I'm going to do with the information that we have now about Team of the Week 1, 2, and 3, and why we're investing in these players. How about we give you guys some specific players to invest in, right? So the reason I'm making this concept squad, and I'm going to hand it over to GoldenBear in a second, where he's going to give us some specific players that he looks at, price ranges, that kind of stuff, really specific stuff. But the reason that we do this is because if you're not ready with a plan and ready to go with a list of players and a price range of when you want to pull the trigger and buy them, you're going to panic in a sense. So let's just say, as a very quick, just random example, Valencia is going for 380k now on the Xbox. And that's a player you want to invest in, and he hits 300k, you think to yourself, geez, when's the bottom going to come? Like, when is a good time to get in on this player? You might miss a great investment. Who knows? He might go down all the way to 250,000, and I'm just making up numbers, guys. But At 300K, he's still a great investment because the guy's been chilling at 380K now for a little bit. You want to pull the trigger at 300K, so you should have a concept squad, which is what I'm going to pull up right now. A concept squad. We'll start from scratch. We'll call it. We'll just call it Black Friday, right? So we'll just call it Black Friday. And what I'm going to do is basically let Golden Bear run us through some players that he's looking at for Black Friday. And as he does, I'll just put them into this concept squad. And then, knowing that once I have this information on the players in my concept squad, whenever they hit a target price that I'm comfortable with, I'm just going to pull the trigger on Black Friday, on Saturday, Sunday. Whenever you see these cards hit that target price, just go ahead and pull the trigger. Don't look back. And then you're just going to hold and watch these players rise. So with that said, Golden Bear, I've pulled up my concept squad called Black Friday. I'm ready to go, man. What are some cards that you're looking into?
All right, so if we're looking at from any of the players from Team of the Week, I'm going to pick a few high-rated or higher-end players like Aguero and Dybala.
All right, Aguero here.
Dybala, for example, I've seen him hit under 600K. Around 650 to 675K on open bid, and then he sells for about 710,000 coins on average as of right now. So if he starts going down, Dybala might be a good shout. He's just so rare, and he's one of the very popular players in the Calcio A. And I mean, he's literally one of the better players in the game to use a striker. But I'm looking at like Dybala. I'm looking at Aguero for some of the guys who has a lot of coins going into Black Friday. And you can always look at first inform Mertens. And if we're looking at some of the mid-level guys, you might consider Mustafi might be a good shout as well. He's one of the higher-rated center backs in the BPL and decent stats, to be honest. And of course, Antonio Valencia is just super rare. Best right back in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. That is until Kyle Walker gets an inform, which hopefully he will sometime soon. And then if we go into, so that's it for Team of the Week 1, in my opinion. Team of the Week 2, and one of the guys that I really like to trade with is that inform Messi, 94 rated position change. That adds a lot of value to his card. The fact that he's just so rare, and there's only ever about 5 of them in the market at most. He's really good to trade with, as well as that 89 rated Aubameyang. So those are 2 good shouts for people with a lot of coins. And if you're somebody with not a whole lot of coins, you can always get Pjanic is a good shout. Morata is a mid-level guy as well, and he's a good shout as well. And El Shaarawy could be good to trade with as well if he goes down enough. But that's pretty much it for me with Team of the Week 2. And then just to pick up a few players from Team of the Week 3 that I think are solid people to trade with. I mean, you have Isco, who's at 165K. If you want a Spanish inform from La Liga, you don't have a whole lot of options in the center mid, so Isco could be a really good shout. Brozovic is one of the better Calcio center mids that you can use as well, and he's only 30K. So if he goes down, I've seen people actually trade with him. And they'll pick him up on open bid for about like 22K, sell him for like 30K, for example, and he should be going down a little bit more over the weekend. But that's the first 3 Team of the Weeks that I would look into. Those are some of the guys that they're not safe from the crash, but they are a lot safer than any other Team of the Week players, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, guys, looking at the squad that I've placed here, and listen, one thing that caught my attention, and I hope it did for you guys too, is so you have Golden Bear talking to us right now, and literally he pulled back the curtain a little bit and told you one of the players that he trades with, and he even gave you price ranges and everything. And that's this 94 rated Messi. Very rare that you'll find a trader the caliber of Golden Bear that gives away secrets on specific players that he trades with. So that was pretty cool. And we have 11 players in total here. We actually have an entire squad. And if you look across here, just the landscape of the players that we were given, specifically that Golden Bear looks to trade with and stuff like that, you have all kinds of price ranges. So if you have a lot of coins, you have options here with your Messis, with your Dybalas, with your Agueros. If you have mid-tier coins, and if you have low-tier coins, there's options here for everybody, right? So mid-tier, you've got your Valencias here. I believe, I'm going to come off as a little bit ignorant here, but Aubameyang, what does Aubameyang usually go for? Is he around that 500 range?
Aubameyang is around like 570 if I'm not mistaken. Let me check his
Okay,
price real
so
quick.
mid range, you're looking at your Aubameyangs, you got your
592.
Valencias there. So 592, right around 600. That's a little bit more expensive. You got your Valencias, and then of course you got your Brozovic's, right, and your Pjanic and Mustafi. So players that you can afford as well. So something for everybody on this list. Now, really quickly, like I said, the one thing we've done here is spoon feed you these players, but the one thing we haven't done that you do have to do, this is useless, guys. This concept squad is useless to anybody that's watching unless you literally have on a piece of paper or a spreadsheet in front of you, for instance, Aguero, and you need to have a price that you're ready to pull the trigger for him. And you have to have it set in stone and say to yourself, okay, if I see Aguero hit 900K at any point over the next couple of days, I am buying him, and that's it. And you don't think about it. It's the only way you're going to make coins. And then, of course, you're going to be looking at these guys on open bid as well, where you're not really going to be pulling the trigger instantaneously. But you're going to want to have a price range as well where you're consistently bidding on that card at a specific price range. And if you land him, great. And if you don't, oh well, not a big deal. But that's the only way that this works. If you're not going to do that in terms of a price range where you feel comfortable, don't even take your time to make this concept squad because there's no point. You're going to panic and you're not going to make the right decision in the heat of the moment when you want to, which is going to be, really, what's the time frame as we look at these things, Golden Bear, where you would think, like, what would be the day or the 2-day time frame where you would think these cards would be near their lowest?
I would say probably anywhere on like either Monday or Tuesday once the weekend league is done. This is one of those things that's hard to predict when it's going to happen until it actually starts happening. But this is one of those things that you really just need. If you need any of these players, you really need to start tracking them down, looking at the market every couple hours, just to see what the price is. You can always find good deals on some of these players. Like I saw just yesterday, I saw Valencia go for 350,000 coins, when he's still selling for around like 380 something thousand coins. So that was about a 30,000 coin difference. If you really needed to pick him up, I saw David De Gea, for example. I know, and that's another good shout, by the way. I know that David De Gea sells for on average about 400K. So if you can get a David De Gea for about anywhere between like 370 to 380K, then that's really good. I mean, you're saving yourself 20,000 coins, and you don't have to worry about taking a huge loss because he's going to be like such a high demand goalkeeper that there's not many other goalkeepers that have an informed card actually.
All right, guys, so now that we talked about inform investing for Black, now we're going to talk about the base gold cards. So no more informs. Now we're going to talk about those gold cards that you might want to have once again on a concept squad. So I'm going to build one now as Golden Bear gives me his list of players. And we're going to leave out the lower tier because I happen to believe that the 84s and 83s, you're not really going to have a chance to get in on those cards as an investment because I have a feeling there's going to be some sort of SBC out there during Black Friday that's going to require those cards, that's not going to let them go down to any price that you could really pick them up and hold them for a future investment. With that said, because you never know what EA is going to do, if Black Friday comes and goes, guys, and you don't see an SBC out there that's going to prop up the 84 and 83 market, do yourself a favor. Get in on those cards, obviously. And once again, if they're not propped up. So right now they're chilling as we speak, like right around the 2K range. You can get yourself a Berkey, I believe, 84 rated goalkeeper from the Bundesliga for like 2.2 to 2.3K, sometimes on open bid at straight up just flat 2K. If you don't see those 84s moving up from that price range, then they're probably going to be going down because that means that they're not needed in an SBC and they're getting packed to death. So stock up. I mean, you don't have to do anything. Just stock up on those 84s. And then like myself and Cripsy love to say when there's foolproof investments, just be alive. Like buy those 84s. Yeah, just be alive. Find a way to be alive. Like 2 weeks after Black Friday, there will always be an SBC that requires 83s and 84s. With that said, like I think it's not going to happen, but if it does happen that they go down, get in. Let's just talk about base gold cards. We'll do 3 upper tier gold cards, and then we'll do 3, middle tier cards. So I'm going to build my concept squad here, Golden Bear, and go ahead and give us some names that you're looking at.
Okay. For my top tier guys, I'll probably be looking into maybe Bale, Griezmann, and Pogba, I would say.
Whoa, no Messi, no Ronaldo?
Well, Messi, maybe you Messi on there, but Ronaldo is like a whole different breed. And the only reason I say that is because every single top 100 player wants Ronaldo in their squad. Like every single one. He's just so high in demand that I can't see him dropping. To be honest with you, I can't see him dropping to where he was. When was it, last Saturday or Sunday or whatever it was before Medici Gamer dropped his video? He had gotten under 1.6. I don't see him dropping down to that point again. If he's gonna go down, he's probably gonna go down to like the like 1.630 ish, if anything. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't see him taking as big of a hit as these other guys have been taking. So I just don't really like to include him there.
Now that I think about it, when you put it that way, you might be right. And what am I saying? Might be right. The best trader in the world, he's right. And also, he is harder to pack, so that's probably not going to lead to him being, just packed to death. Okay, so for now, your upper tier, the 3 players you're looking at upper tier wise would be your Griezmann, your Pogba, and your Bale. And these are just the base card guys. These are no informs, just straight up base card 3 upper tier players. And then looking into like maybe 2 or 3 middle tier players, what are you thinking about?
Walker, Valencia, and Jesus Christ, who would I go with? The
Jesus.
I don't know. Oh, there you go. Exactly. No. You got it spot
Perfect.
on. And those are 3 of the guys that I'm looking to pick up during the lightning rounds. If I'm looking at Griezmann, Bale, and Pogba, I'm looking to pick those up before Black Friday. So again, you have to be the one doing your research. You have to be looking at these players day in and day out. And you have to figure out. You have to be there when the dip happens.
Be alive.
And be alive when that window opens up. Because those are the higher end guys are going to be the ones that you need to pick up before Black Friday. Generally, that's when they end up shooting up, because people do open packs. They are spending money to open packs, so that means that they're accumulating coins to be able to buy the bigger players, to buy the teams the team that they want to make. So that's generally why they end up going up on Black Friday.
And then, of course, the lower tier players like your Gabriel Jesus, Valencia, and Walker. They're no way that they're not immune to the mass amount of packs that are going to get opened. I mean, Gabriel Jesus base card is just going to get destroyed. 81 overall rating. I know that EA has different pack weights for different cards, even though, so what I'm trying to say is not all 81 rated cards have the same pack weight, but still, that card's going to get packed to death. And then the same with your Valencia and your Walker. I mean, I know that those are boards, like those are billboard cards. They're 83 rated, but it's just so many packs are going to be open that they're not going to be immune to it. And then the thing with those cards is that they cost so much in a sense, even though they're 83 rated, and I do believe that there will be an SBC out there that props up the 83 and 84 rated market. Those are not cards that you're going to be submitting into SBCs. So it's like that's not going to be a problem with those cards. I mean, those cards are just going to get driven into the ground. So I mean, great. So there's a game plan, guys. There's a lot of things you can invest in. We talked about a little bit of consumable investing. We gave you guys an entire team, 11 players of informs that you can look to invest in. We gave you guys 3 upper tier players and then 3 middle tier players. And then of course a reason as to why we're not looking into the lower tier, save for the fact that EA maybe doesn't release an SBC that doesn't prop up the 83 to 84 rated market, which I highly doubt. But if that doesn't happen as a scenario, then of course get in on your 83s and 84s. That's a no-brainer. You don't even have to think. Just invest and then be alive. All right, guys, so with that said, with all the information that you have now, I think there's just a couple more tips that myself and Golden Bear might want to give you, which are just basically from our personal experience and things that we've learned over the years. All right, guys, so just talking about a couple more tips, and then we're wrapping it up. One of the tips that I had for Black Friday is this, and this goes out to the person that does plan on spending a lot of FIFA points and or coins, which I'm against. Don't spend your coins on packs, but hey, you guys are going to do whatever you want. If you are one of these people that are going to be opening up a lot of packs on Black Friday, do yourself a favor. Run through your club and do one of 2 things. Throw all of your gold players into like a gold upgrade SBC, or just start doing a bunch of SBCs, like liquidate your players and do SBCs and get packs, or simply list all your players. Just because during lightning rounds, you're not going to have the opportunity to go and cherry pick one player over another and start listing them and thinking. You're literally just smashing through packs as quickly as possible, and you're going to end up discarding players that you wouldn't have, would you have had the time, obviously, to evaluate what it is that you just packed. You guys know what it's like. And for those of you newbies that don't know what a flash or lightning round is, guys, you're going to run out there with your points. You're going to be opening a pack. It's literally the animation is going to drop, and you're going to send everything to your club as quickly as you can. And then the rest of the stuff you're either going to discard or you're going to send it to your transfer pile. And then where the panic sets in is when you're sitting at 90 players on your transfer pile and you've just opened up a 100K pack, all right? And you've got 24 players sitting in front of your face, All right, and you got to make a split decision of, Jesus, I can only send like 3 of these to my club, and then I'm stuck with 21 players, and I only got 10 spots open on my transfer list, but I need to go and open up another pack before they run out. Before you know it, guys, you're discarding players that you would have never discarded in the past. So what you need to do is empty out your club. If you're not going to smash a bunch of packs, then don't worry. Just do your regular Black Friday prep. And then, we'll see you at Black Friday when we get there. Golden Bear, did you have any tips?
Yeah, and it kind of relates to what you're saying about if and this applies to anyone that is planning to open packs. One thing that's very important to note is that when you're listing players, when you're trying to list them up quickly, don't do that. And the only reason why I'm telling you that is because right now, how the market is, usually during the day, you have about, on average on Xbox at least, we've been getting about like 2 million transfers in the market. During Black Friday, you're probably going to get like double of that, which means that if you're listing your players right after packs, so are thousands and thousands and thousands.
Could you imagine?
So what ends up happening, there's just an overload in the market. People don't have eyes on every single player. So a lot of those players are going to end up going for discard that shouldn't be going for discard. And I tell you this by experience because in the past, and I do this every single year. So like last year I did open packs, and the year before that I did open packs. And I've taken huge losses. And that's because I sometimes I'm just like careless and I don't pay attention to what I'm listing the players at. And so, for example, I can't remember what the player was, but I do remember the value. It was a player that was going for 12,000 coins. I listed him up at minimum start and maximum buy it now or whatever. And he ended up selling for 2,000 coins when I could have put him at a buy it now of like 11,500. So I took a 9,000 coin loss for something like that. And so that's just an example of something that can go wrong. So instead of putting yourself in that situation, just take a second to look at what their lowest buy it now is. You're gonna save yourself a lot of coins. Put the lowest buy it now, maybe undercut by like a few hundred coins, whatever it may be. And don't ever start with a minimum. On the flip side, you're gonna want to be bidding big time during these lightning rounds. They're 100K lightning rounds, 50K lightning rounds. You are going to want to be bidding because you're going to take advantage of those guys that are careless, like myself, that list players for minimum and end up taking huge losses. So their losses are going to be your gain. And if you're asking what I should be bidding on, again, we've talked about this before. Any player that you see in the weekend league, super OP player, Premier League players, anybody like that, bid on them. Depending on what you have in terms of coins, you want to be bidding on the bigger guys. It literally doesn't matter who you bid on.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I couldn't help myself.
It literally doesn't, though. I mean, let's just be realistic. Like no one can watch the whole market. There's no way that I myself or anyone, like we all come together. We cannot keep all our eyes on every single player that's in the market. It's impossible. There's no way. So you're just going to want to be mass bidding on players during that time. And then don't wait too late, I would say, to bid. I think I would personally get my bids in, maybe like in the afternoon lightning rounds, because once those go away and people start going to sleep, the price starts settling a little bit for that time, and then they start if they start releasing like the promo packs, like the 45K packs right after an 100K lightning round. And then they follow that up with like a 35K lightning round. Then the player prices on some of the high demand players are going to be going up a little bit. There's a little window to sell and flip some of those players that you picked up on open bid. Yeah, again, just to summarize, if you're opening packs, put a minimum start price to the point where it's a reasonable set price that the player actually sells for. So again, the player sells for 8,000 bin. Just put it starting at 6 bin. At 6,000. You don't want to start it at 150 because if it sells for 150, then you're going to end up taking huge losses. And again, the guys that are bidding, you can literally bid on anything and make coins. So just keep your eyes on, keep your transfer targets open, and just bid during the 100K packs, 125K packs. You're guaranteed to make profit during that time, like everybody does. And that's all I got really for in terms of packs and stuff like that, and things to look out during the lightning rounds as well.
Guys, listen up, man. If you guys don't know him, I'm putting his description down. I'm putting his information down in the description below. But if you've ever been around FIFA for a long enough time and you're around social media and you're into trading, you know the man, the myth, the legend himself, iGOLDENBEAR, who has done us a great service by giving us all this information and basically just laying out a plan, 1, 2, 3 of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and how you're going to make coins Black Friday. So a big thanks to him and a big thanks to how he carries himself in the community and how he's always helping people, never asks for anything in return, man. Very well-respected member of the FIFA community. He's the best, man. Looked up to this guy forever, and I'm blessed and lucky enough to have him on my channel, on my YouTube channel. He's the best. GOLDENBEAR, you're awesome.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate you having me on your
on my
well,
now tell me how good I am. Tell me what about me?
Oh, dude, you're the best.
Yeah,
the best in the world.
Man,
at what
the best.
You do.
You know it. You know it. What a man, GOLDENBEAR. Thank you very much for your time, man. I hope this could be something we do more in the future. It's too much fun, man. I love talking to you. So creative, and the guy's so passionate about the game, so hopefully this is something we can do again in the future, guys. This will be the video for the Black Friday market preparedness, I guess is what we'll call it. I think many coins to be had by all, guys, so good luck. I hope everybody out there makes a bunch of coins, man. If you do, later on, once you've watched this video, and obviously, you know, once Black Friday has passed on by, come back into the comment section if you can remember, and just let us know, like, you know, how many coins did you make, or what your best flip was, or what your best investment was this Black Friday, and then drop down below any ideas or anything that you'd like to see in the future going forward. Can't guarantee anything, but I do think we'll have GOLDENBEAR back at some point or another. What would you guys like to see? What would you guys like to see him talk about, or us touch upon as a topic? With that said, guys, this has been Pistol Pete, your main man. Check me out on Twitch, where I do stream almost every day. Check us out on Twitter, where myself and GOLDENBEAR are on all the time. That's it, man. Pistols out, everybody. Oh, the GOLDENBEAR pistols. What's up? Peace, guys.
Later, guys.